What's up guys, Loki episode 4 dropped this past Wednesday. This was the episode that was supposed to be that big perspective change. We have 2 episodes left after this one, so in order for them to be able to wrap things up nicely, we must move and move quickly. We do not want a repeat of the lackluster WandaVision finale, which I give it some slack because I know that Rona had a huge part in the disruption of that production and the finale of the show. I know there was VFX that couldn't get done, so I give WandaVision a bit of a pass. This show has been so good so far, but depending on how it ends will determine for the time being, of course, if it's truly the best Disney Plus MCU show and a good show in general. So many big ideas and concepts they're exploring, like destiny, free will, and now self-love. Like we've never seen it quite before, or have we? But seriously, this is probably the best episode so far. So many twists and a whole lot of the unexpected happens. We start seeing more sussery from the TVA, and it becomes apparent that something more sinister is in the works. A lot of people are calling it as Kang being the big bad of the show, which I'll speak on later in the video if I think he's gonna actually turn up, and who I think might actually be the true villain behind the TVA. We also have to get into that wild-ass mid-credit scene. Before we do though, make sure to hit the sub button if you mess with my content. Leave a thumbs up and turn your notifications on so you know exactly when your boy is dropping. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So we kind of get our origin of Sylvie, or at least when she was kidnapped by the TVA on Asgard, which was, foul as fuck. And we still don't know really why, what her Nexus event was, hasn't been revealed yet, but that was sus as fuck of Renslayer. This whole episode, her sus levels just go off the charts progressively, and in the flashback, we see her bring Sylvie to trial, but Sylvie fucking finesses her ass and snatches her temp pad and dips right in front of the old judge for the TVA. So she got caught in 4K looking like a straight dumbass in front of her boss. So I don't know how she was even able to move up the ladder and get into that position, but she has. Then back in present time, we get a sneak peek of the timekeepers, which I really didn't think we were gonna see. I felt like they were gonna pull some bullshit where we were just never gonna see them, but we do get that little sneak peek, and I'll elaborate more on that later on in the video, of course. But we head back to Lamentis 1 as Loki and Sylvie await their impending doom, stuck in an apocalypse with no way of escaping or, notifying for help. And I absolutely love this scene, guys. Another very intimate moment between Loki and Sylvie as they ponder what exactly makes a Loki a Loki. And Loki gives just the most inspiring speech and gasses Sylvie the fuck up. The ambiance of the crashing moon, the setting, the lighting, the music playing triumphant as all hell in the background, and Sylvie grabbing for Loki as they accept death head on. Okay, this is the ultimate form of self-love and just kind of therapeutic. They're of the same being but 2 different people, and now they can kind of express their love for themselves through each other. It's too good. Michael Waldron actually spoke on this, and he wanted Loki's first, I guess, romantic relationship or first, encounter with love to be about loving himself, something of that nature. I can't exactly quote him, but it was really good. Honestly, how I see it, the only way I can kind of relate this to anything is when you have kids, which I don't have, but when you have kids, that little dude or dudette is a part of you. That's basically you. So when you're a good parent and you treat your kids well and you love your kids, that's legit loving yourself. Even if you kind of don't love yourself, you're not too fond of yourself, if you love your kids, you're kind of in a way practicing some level of self-love. That's just my opinion. So I love this for them. I fuck with this couple, to be honest. I know there's people on Twitter that call it self-cessed, but legit, I don't give a fuck, bitch. I want Loki to be able to have a romantic relationship, to have somebody to love, and have them love him back, and be able to bust some nuts like a god should. And what makes this even better is that they defy the odds and actually cause a Nexus event during an apocalypse because of their love for each other. So the TVA is able to find them and swoop them up. They separate them, and Mobius sends Loki to a bad memory time loop, and we get the MCU return of the lovely and amazing Jamie Alexander as Lady Sif in one of the most notorious Loki moments ever from the comics, when Loki cuts Sif's hair. And she was blonde before that, but after this is when her hair went black, and basically she smacks Loki around and knees his nuts continuously. And I couldn't stop laughing, not because someone getting kicked in the nuts is, peak comedic genius, but because of the thought of some of you motherfuckers out there that would actually pay for something like this. And I'm not judging you guys, but all throughout my mind when this was happening, I was like, I couldn't help but thinking of the memes that were going to be made, like cock and ball torture, and oh god, I wish wish that were me, like on Twitter. It's gold. I'm a deviant like most of you guys, so I'm gonna call this stuff out. I'm just gonna say the shit that I feel like saying. But yeah, it was nice to see Sif again, and she'll be appearing in Thor 4, so look out for her. Then we get to see the outside stuff, and this is when the sussery grows, as Mobius wants to talk to Sylvie, but Renslayer is blocking that shit hard as fuck. This is the equivalent of your girl not letting you see her phone. She's making some good points, but damn, you know, the bitch is cheating. And then we get Mobius dropping some goodies on us with this line, confirming vampires in the MCU, which means Blade, and I've even heard some people saying Mobius just confirmed Morbius on Twitter, just for, you know, the memes of it. Mobius also mentioned Titans, and that of course could be reference to Thanos, or maybe even Kronos, the grandfather of Thanos, who himself became an embodiment of time. I don't know how they could have captured his ass after that, but you never know. Really hope we see a Thanos variant. That'd be tight as fuck, guys. Imagine seeing like a, you know, shrunken down, shriveled up Thanos or something, like all gains removed. I think that'd be like really funny to see. But as well, the seeds of distrust are growing when B-15 starts to ask questions, and even goes as far as taking Sylvie back to the Roxcart Apocalypse to re-enchant her to gain the memories she once had back. Cause ever since she got enchanted, just like C20, she can't stop thinking about how she had a life before this, and that, you know, she'd been lied to. And Mobius questions Loki again, and Loki is doing his thing, you know, making shit up. That is until Mobius tells Loki that Sylvie got pruned, and the truth comes out, and Mobius calls him out and tells him that the relationship he had with Sylvie was pure chaos, and the only thing strong enough to create a Nexus event during an apocalypse, you know, because previously, before, it was established that you can't mess with like a Nexus event or an apocalyptic event. There's zero variant energy during those events, so if anybody does anything, it'll all be fine, but not like this. I love how Loki is visibly shook here. It's just crazy seeing Loki, the villain we've known for so long, actually care. And he also plants another seed of dissent by telling Mobius the TVA kidnapped the TVA agents and that they're all variants. So when Mobius has this little sit down with Renslayer, he kind of presses her about everything, and she, you know, bob and weaves her way through all of Mobius's questions, which set off his sus sense, and so he secretly switched the temp pads with her to try and get some answers, and he actually catches Renslayer in 4K lying about her whole interaction with C20. This is what happens when you go through her phone, boys. It's dangerous, but the truth is important. Then he gets Loki out of the time loop, only to be met immediately by Ravonna and the Minuteman, and this bitch switches up like a motherfucker when Mobius starts calling her out on all her bullshit, and she prunes him. And I was so mad, I yelled out, like, that's Owen Wilson, but that's also Mobius. I've grown to actually like this person, and now you're just gonna switch up on him like that after you're talking all this shit in the blink of an eye. All that sweet shit, it's all gone. All lies, my guys. And so this is when they're taken to the Timekeepers, and credit to Ravonna, okay? I know I'm talking all this shit about her, but she's legit a despicable villain, a great villain right here, okay? She's cold as fuck, especially when Sylvie asks what she did that got her taken in, and Ravonna gives this look and just says, I don't remember. She is cold as a motherfucker. Disrespect off the charts, and I love that. We need a villain to just be disrespectful, and that face, oh my god, it was so good. And they go meet the Timekeepers and are about to get pruned until the Queen, B-15, comes in clutch, removes their collars and hands them weapons, and they go to work. Lots of solid action, even though I think Loki, being a god, should be able to slap all these dudes around with ease, but it wasn't bad at all. Ravonna even had a really dope reversal, and after they dismantle everyone, Sylvie chops off one of the Timekeepers' heads, and it's revealed that the Timekeepers are nothing more than animatronics, which begs the question, who created TVA and who's behind all of this? And I personally love this moment, very Wizard of Ozzy, where the Oz isn't so great and powerful, he's just a guy in back of a curtain. And also, just on a side note, seeing this blue light on them, by the way, the Timekeepers like little like domain or whatever was lit so damn well, but seeing this blue light on them, it has to be an allusion to their, you know, frost giant roots. That's all I could think about when I saw them under this light. But just before Loki is about to reveal his feelings for Sylvie at the end of the episode, when they're totally at a loss, when you couldn't despise her even more, Ravonna Renslayer prunes Loki. And of course, guys, we're big brain baddies over here, and we know this shit ain't over. 2 more episodes. We've seen promos of Loki doing shit we haven't yet seen in the previous episodes. Of course, he's getting out of this jam, so the what isn't important, it's the how. And as for that mid-credit scene, guys, damn, that was good. We get old Loki, or classic Loki, boastful Loki, and kid Loki, as well as as, you know, Crocodile Loki or Alligator Loki. I believe the official name is Alligator Loki, and I hate how everybody became an animal expert after this episode was going down. Like, everybody was like, oh no, it's an alligator, what are you talking about? And I'm like, bro, just shut the fuck up. I want to call him Croaky no matter what. And so that's basically the episode, guys. It was really awesome. That moment in particular, it reminded me of Risk Cutters, a love story, which if you haven't seen that movie, I would definitely recommend. I don't want to spoil it too much for you guys, but basically it's about when people do, you know, unalive themselves, they go to this like dimension where other people who have unalived themselves as well go, and they like exist in this weird dimension. It's really cool, way better than what I'm making it sound like right now, but that kind of reminded me of this. Like, this is the place where forgotten toys go, like this weird like forgotten hellscape dimension. It was really, really cool. I like what's going on here, but I'm excited. As far as speculations and predictions, I think that everything's being set up to make us think that Kang is coming, and I'm not gonna say that Kang isn't coming because we know he's gonna come, but I don't know if that's something that's going to happen in a Disney Plus show, because Kevin Feige has gone on record to say that not incredibly big things are going to go down in the MCU TV shows, especially from the past 2 shows. I'm not expecting something big, something huge as a Kang, but honestly, this show has really surprised me. Okay, we got Sif back, guys. We got a lot of really cool reveals, like, and this is like Loki. He's like a veteran of the MCU. Maybe they're saving the better stuff for his show. I don't know, but as far as the big bad being Kang, I want to believe it, guys. Everything is pointing to that, and he might be orchestrating some of it, but at the end of it all, I think, and I'm just being real with it, I think Miss Minutes, that fucking little bitch, is behind all of this. That's what I'm gonna say. I think that they are, you know, they set her up a little bit, but I think they're gonna have her be this weird, creepy, sinister villain at the very end. I just have a feeling, okay, because they just made her kind of nonchalant, like they kind of hid her like in plain sight. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Other speculatory stuff I would say is that we're gonna get to see a lot more variants of Loki than we did in this last episode. That boat Loki, I'm betting you anything, guys, that's not the Loki that we've been seeing. I bet that's another Loki, maybe a very, very sinister Loki, and that's gonna be very interesting to see Tom Hiddleston actually go up against himself in a way. That's gonna be really nice. I can't wait to see that. It's gonna go off. I really can't wait. I'm really excited because I believe it was actually Sylvie, the actress herself, Sophie DiMartino, who said the last 2 episodes are going to get weird as fuck. So I'm so excited. You guys know, the weirder the better. I'm about that shit. But that's basically it, guys. This was my favorite episode so far. I think everything was on point. Even the action was a little bit better than the previous episodes. That's all I really have to say about it. 2 more episodes, guys. That's my biggest concern, is that, you know, we've gotten let down before with Disney Plus shows. It's probably gonna happen again in the future, but I'm hoping it's not right now, because such big concepts are being displayed right now, and if they can't tie this together, it's gonna really suck, because I really want to end up loving this show because I love it right now. But that's pretty much it as far as I'm concerned. The only Easter eggs that I really saw were on, you know, Ravonna Renslayer's uniform. She had A23, and I believe that alludes to Avengers 23. And I remember in that issue, I read it a little recently, but I have horrible memory, and basically Kang was in that issue, and I remember there was something with Steve Rogers leaving the Avengers. It was a weird thing. That would be insane if Captain America actually came out in this episode. I'd be through the roof, but we still need to know what the fuck he was doing. How the fuck did he get all those stones back and come back to live and tell the tale about it? We'll just have to wait and see. I don't think anything that big is gonna happen, but that's pretty much it. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.